response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
So let's get serious for a second. These 2x1 inch bars on the side of my car are completely steel. They're hopefully pretty durable. So this is the first year I've actually ran without them, which was a total mistake, honestly. I've replaced the bottom half of both of my numbers at least once. In the late model division, everybody races so tight and so close together that there's a lot of bumping and banging, and that's just expected. So there's a lot of rubber and torn decals every week on the car. This actually prevents that. So this means that somebody else's tires or their door will rub against your bar, not your door. It saves a lot of damage and a lot of torn decals. So honestly, I'm really glad that we finally got them on the car. We kind of just waited. Weren't going to put them on, and then we're like, no, we need them. And then when we were about to put them on, we didn't have them. So I'm glad that they're back now, which means that we can go out there and just race even harder than we were before with no worries about what's going on with the car.
Fired up. If it doesn't fire right up, just get off and pump the gas a bit. Now try again.
Do I get a pull fan?
Yeah, we're gonna have to. We're not right where we should be, but it'll be close.
No, let me, oh, you should have let me do it.
Tell me when you're at 3/4, Sean. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be the driver.
I don't think so. Here, give it a lift.
Yeah. Where are you lifting it from?
From the fender and the scrub rail.
Like,
Okay, let it down slowly when you do it. I know, that's why I don't really want you doing it.
Yeah, well, I gotta, because I'm the driver.
No.
So basically, as a driver, you get one pull on your car if you have to go to tech when they measure your ride height, because all the compression and the shocks and the springs on the track will lower your ride height. So the driver, it has to be a driver, gets one big pull before they measure their ride height.
This is your workout?
Yeah. This is why I got to work out.
Well, we hadn't been in tech area for a while. We'd been happy with where we were, and at the point where we're running now, I thought we'd better get some more sureties that we're in the right spot. So we went over the scales again, checked out where we were weight-wise, and on the flat in the tech lane, we were checking the sway bar to make sure that we had the right adjustment on the sway bar. We've been struggling with a little bit of a ill-handling car in a couple of the races lately, so we're trying to rectify that with some setup.
Okay, so basically, the past 2 weeks since we had that rain out and we were behind schedule, they did 5-car qualifying instead of single-car qualifying. So then last week, our race director said, does everybody want to do single-car qualifying or does everybody want to do 5-car qualifying? And the majority ruled 5-car qualifying. So if that is the case, then we go by points. So we do 1st to 5th, 6th, 10th, and so on, which means I won't have to pull a number. So hopefully 5-car qualifying is forever as I prefer it, and I'm a lot better at it.
Exact same thing.
Safety boots, nice.
Absolutely.
We got rid of one, now we got another one.
Are late models still pulling, or are we doing group qualifying now?
Still pulling as far as I know. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, Dallas, are we doing group qualifying, or then why are we pulling if we're doing it by points? This is really...
I just like to see you pull a number, that's all.
This is super irrelevant and disorganized. I pulled 8.
There you go, you picked 8.
But it doesn't matter because I'm not going to go 8.
Yeah, but now you have a lottery number for next week.
There you
I
go.
do.
Yeah, see, I like that.
I do. I'll take all of these. 4,
Does the
8.
5 laps help you?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
That's
This takes you a couple laps. to
That's
get
why we're
rolling.
doing 5 lap
That's
qualifying.
right. Don't tell everybody, but yes.
Low key on the DL. Yeah, no, I think it's a lot better for me, and I think a lot of the other cars, especially when some other cars, especially when it's like really hot out and like I don't know.
I find it helps the newer drivers like yourself,
Yeah.
new into the slicks and stuff like that. I mean, it probably takes you a lap or two before you feel comfortable in it, right?
Yeah, the longer I go, the faster,
The
I
faster,
get.
the better it feels. I get it.
5 laps and 2 warm-up laps, they're good for me. So, see ya.
Have fun. Good luck.
Thanks. That's Dallas, our race director. He is an awesome guy. He just started in the position of the race director this season, and our track's running real smooth. Everything's coming together, and he does a great job at pleasing all the drivers any way he can.
Scrub rails are going on. Well, that was the plan, and then this week we decided after what's happened in the last few weeks, she's been replacing decals, to keep the car looking sharp, so we put the scrub rails on, and that'll help keep the side rubbing looking good when we're done at the end of the night. Yeah, she got some feedback and saying, you know what, you've been really good, you've been real respectful on the racetrack. If you have to give some back because you're in there, it's your line, go ahead and give some back. But you pay the consequences sometimes. You win some, you lose some when you play that way.
I've been respectful, so it's my turn now. Just kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting night. Well, we're 6 nights in, so we've got quite a few features under our belt. She's run really well. The guys have run her really well for the most part. And, the ones that are going to chop down are going to chop down, whether it's Kendra or whether it's the track champion. So, time to hold her own out there. These tires have 1 feature on them. So we're going to practice. Left front's only got 3 on it. So we should be decent. Hopefully that right rear is stretched out.
Okay.
We made a sway bar adjustment there when we were on the flat. Hopefully that's going to help things out. It's going to take a while to get the heat in these tires. Just felt the rain drop on my back, but we'll see what happens weather-wise. Want to get some heat into these tires before we get a good feel for the car. It won't be till the end of your practice run that you're going to get a good feel for the car. And I don't know how many practice laps you want to run, if you want to run 8 or 10. And if the car's good, we'll sit on it, or if you want to make an adjustment, we'll go back out and just run a handful of laps after the tires are hot.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Try to get a feel for, hey, what's working? How are the brakes? When you first get out there for the first few pace laps, just like get up 3/4 and just like right off the gas, just slow the car down, get up to speed again, slow the car down a couple times just to put some heat in these.
Okay.
When you come back in, do not hold the brake. When you come in, put off the brake all the time. Okay?
Okay.
If you have to leave it in gear, leave it in gear. And try to remember how the car's running, how it's feeling. Is it tight? Is it loose? Is it good center? Off? Is it tight in the middle, then loose off because we got all that wheel in it, like we've been struggling the last couple of weeks because we've been fighting stagger. If need be, what we'll do is we'll maybe put a turn in the right rear or a turn out of the left rear, just to try and take some wedge out and go from there.
Okay.
Good?
I see rain on my windshield.
Yeah.
Rain, wet, soggy, and sad is how I would describe the rest of the day. Hopefully the rain is only raining for a little bit longer, and then we can dry the track and get qualifying at our normal time. I was on the back lineup for practice as it started to rain, so I haven't practiced yet. Hopefully, I'm praying that there's just this 1 spurt of rain and then we're done for the evening, because I and everybody else here hate sitting around and waiting in the rain. Yeah, it's kind of just annoying and frustrating and all that stuff, all of the above. So hopefully the rain goes away and we get back to our normal racing time.
The following program is brought to you by Rogers Anyplace TV. Enjoy exclusive content for free. Visit RogersAnyplaceTV.com.
It was really fun working with them, especially with it when it comes to the studio tour, because it lets you meet the artists again and again. I hate to say nature inspires me because every artist has it, but it is the grasses, the flowers, the trees, mostly rocks as well. So I use grasses over and over again. Every once in a while somebody wants to have something special, they bring me their own flowers. For me the glaze has to be perfect, and I like I said, a lot of depth in it. And that's it. All done.
Last week wasn't the best. I did have one really good finish, and then after that, I just couldn't get the setup in the car with the weather changing. It got really, really hot, and my car it was a little bit loose in the first feature, so then we made an adjustment, and I think we went too far the other way and made the car too tight for the other two features. So we made a couple adjustments, changed tires, tried a different stagger, did some sway bar stuff. Hopefully, everything's back to normal and our car is set up great for the next two features we have ahead of us. So yeah, that's all we can really hope for. Hopefully we get at least one practice, and then we'll see how the car is from there. We also changed my brakes this week, so we'll have to break those in and see where it takes us.
How many of you want to stick with the 5 and 5 for the rest of the year? Let's get a show of hands.
Absolutely.
That's not even a question. 6.
So today in the meeting, we just basic stuff, saying that we hopefully are going to get the whole show in because of the rain. We're definitely going to get another practice. Hopefully he's going to try to give us 2. In late model, a lot of the guys are putting tires on every other week, 8 tire, whatever, and you need to scuff in your tires before you race so you know how they're gonna blow up and grow during the race. So that's really crucial. So the race director knows that, so he's gonna get us out there for as much practice as we can. And then we went into which qualifying does everybody want, and 7 people voted for a 5-car qualifying and 6 people voted for single car qualifying. I being one of the people that voted for 5-car qualifying, and that's what we'll be doing this week. I know a lot of the guys that have been racing for a long time say, well, what if you perfected the 2 laps? It is, you're given 5 laps and 2 warm-up laps. So if that's what you want to do, you want to run all 7, run all 7. In my opinion, if you want to run all 2, 1 lap, you go out and run as many as you want.
Well, today looks like we're going to get it in now. It looks like the weather's hopefully passed for the majority of the rest of the night. Be a nice green track, all washed down. The traction won't be there as much as it has been in the last couple of weeks, although we've had rain pretty much every week, so we're working with a green track just about every week. A couple of cars missing that have been here regularly the last number of weeks, and we've got at least 1 new car that we haven't seen this week. So we'll watch for that, see what's going on. But I think we're going to be there. I mean, there's no reason why we can't get another top 10 finish in both, if not at least one of the features tonight. Hopefully things are going to work out well for us. on, bring it all the way in. High and wide, no pressure.
Oh, it felt fast. Okay, so before I slowed down, it was loosen, tight in the middle, loose off, but still fast. And then after I adjusted the brakes, when I had like that one lap, it felt good in, a little bit tight through the middle, and then still loose off. And then I did those other ones, and it felt so fast in,
you were
so fast
before
through.
you started to slow down, you were keeping up with it.
Hold away, yeah.
You were steady with them. You weren't gaining with them, you weren't losing them.
Yeah, so like
But
if
you were
we
steady with them. I tried to get a lap, and then you
slow down.
And then the caution came out, so I down here, but you guys went back there again.
Yeah. Bleep, 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 bleep.
Sorry.
How many clicks did you put in the brakes?
I think 3.
And did it help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, I couldn't see or hear, and I looked
Oh,
down.
you just made a couple turns?
And like my mouthpiece, I'm
Right.
like, I don't know which way's front or rear, so I'm like barely looking, and I'm like, okay, I think this is front, so I
Next
clicked
time,
it.
especially for practice, pull into the in the infield pits
Nah,
and do that.
no time, fam. So basically, so there's a little knob inside the car. It's called a brake bias adjuster, and it's connected to a rod that goes through my brake pedal. And by turning it either left or right, I take or put in more rear brake. So this, basically when the car feels loose or tight under braking, usually you can just adjust it in there by yourself and it'll take care of the problem. So that's what I did when we felt like we were really loose on entry. When I was on the brake, I just put in front brake, and that helped me not be loose going into the corner.
Where are you going to qualify this week, Kendra?
12.
Nice! I was going to say 13th. Good call. Let's do it. P5, let's go. Pick up another spot here. P5 at the moment. Come on, P. White flag this time if you want to send her. This is the lap. P5 on the board. P3, buddy. Come on, send it. You got a great lap. You can send it. Come into checkers, and then bring it in. Hey, great job, buddy. You're right behind Paul, and he's got brand new tires on.
Better than what I thought I was gonna do. Hold on, I should take a picture. I've got 11. I qualified 11.
Good job.
What kind of show do you want to see on Rogers TV? What interests you? Log on to rogerstv.com, fill out a show proposal, and tell us about your segment idea. We want to know what you want to see. Rogers TV, only on Rogers.
The elite of European sport rule on Sportsnet World. A new season means emerging challenges and reigning champions. Will dynasties fall? Sportsnet World brings you unparalleled coverage of the Premier League, Bundesliga, and a Viva Premiership. Supreme access to a tradition of excellence. Sportsnet World. Subscribe today.
Think it's okay to drive high? Think again. Drug-impaired driving is as illegal as drunk driving, and in Ontario, the penalties are the same. If police suspect you're driving under the influence of drugs of any kind, or a combination of drugs and alcohol, and you fail a roadside test, your license will be suspended immediately for up to 30 days. You'll pay a penalty of $198. And you can be charged with a criminal offense of impaired driving, the same as alcohol. Driving high is never okay.
got the best qualifying effort yet to date. Kendra qualified 11th in the field, so really good qualifying effort. She came in and the car was a little tight in the middle, free off. And for the first time ever, she was willing to make a big swing at it. So when she saw that she qualified 11th, better than she maybe thought she had, we decided to scale back the big swing. So we've made a couple adjustments to try and free the car up through the middle and hopefully finish better than when we start. Green, 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 green. One lane only, no pressure from the line. Roll them and go, just turn well. Outside, still there. Still outside, easy. And caution's out, they're wrecking, caution's out. Great job.
Honestly, the car was not performing very well. It was still tight in the middle, loose off. It was really difficult to drive. I had to go really slow in, slow through the middle, and then gave it all I could off. That race was really line up and go. Barely anybody moved from where we started, so I think the heat is really getting to everybody for how they're setting up their cars. Hopefully, instead of that being a disadvantage, we can make it an advantage and get ahead of the rest of the group.
Green. Outside, green, give one lane only, big jam. Hold it, no pressure, one back behind. Follow that 81.
Usually 3 wide doesn't last that long. I think it was like we went in and it happened in turn, I can't even remember. I think it happened in turn 1, and by turn 3, 4, we were still 3 wide. I wasn't gonna give up the spot, plain and simple. Yeah, so Nick has a super fast car. He got underneath me and another car, me being the middle car. He got underneath me on the straightaway, so going into the corner, it's his spot, whether or not we're 3 wide. So I gave him the spot, I kept my spot. I don't know if the 3 car to the outside of me knew if we were 3 wide or not, but we all went in, all boom, like 3 wide always does. Other than that, it was like honestly not too bad. I usually don't expect to go into the next corner 3 wide, so when we did, I was like, all right, here we go. I ended up falling in behind the 24, and then the 3 ended up falling in behind me. It wasn't too stressful, to be honest. We all kind of held our lane, and that was it. Gave it all we got and went single file after that.
There you go. White flag here. Bring it on 1 lap left. Be smooth. Clear by half. Clear by 1. Clear by half. Clear by half. Protect it going in and hold it low. Protect it going in and hold it low. Hit the middle, and your drive off the best. Coming in 10. You guys by buddy P10. Buddy P10. Another top 10. Great job.
Take you 3 wide.
Appreciate that.
I don't know. How come you always take me 3 wide?
Pretty good though when I don't touch you, right?
You did though.
No,
actually,
I didn't.
okay. Actually,
Show me the mark.
The 3 came down into me, and I thought I came down into you. No, you didn't.
Lots of room.
Can you believe that we were still 3 wide the next corner?
They put me to the back, and I didn't even bring out a caution. We didn't even do a lap.
I know.
I got screwed.
But I'm also nervous about the changes because I don't know how they're gonna do, and I'm just nervous that they're gonna take too many laps to come in, and I'm gonna get run over or like spun out or something. And I'm nervous about Mike or Nick going 3 wide because they're both savages and they both start right behind us.
They do. They are. What do you do if it happens?
Hold your line.
Hold your line, and if I tell you back out of it, you can back out of it.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'll be on the outside either way, so I already know just to stay.
Likely, if it happens, depending on who it's with, we'll back out and get him behind who's beside. If we fall back, we fall back.
True, because they're both fast anyways.
So we're not going to do anything silly. We're going to hold our line. We're going to race hard and clean like we always do. Bring it home. We got scrub rails now, so you good, fam?
I got some marks.
I know, I seen that, but far better.
Yeah.
Imagine you didn't have them? Go. Green. Awesome start. Hold them tight. Just inside. Hold them tight, just inside. Inside, take the pitch. Hold them tight in the green. Great job. Roll it in a little harder. Inside, keep digging. Nice roll. Inside. The race didn't go nearly as well as we had hoped. Again, best starting spot we'd had, starting outside pole. We make some big changes to try and make the car run a little bit better, and unfortunately the tire pressure didn't Didn't start near where we needed to be. We had the pressures too low, and as fast as the race progressed, the car didn't come in as well, as quickly as it should have. She was in a rough spot, hung out on the outside, some real quick cars behind her. She lost a few spots, and then when she got to the bottom, you know, things were just out of sorts. So, hold back. Down. Keep protecting, and you're clear.
It went awful. There's some altercations on the track that really shouldn't have happened, some calls that shouldn't have been made, and that's really why our night ended the way it did. There was a little bit of handling issues. We were still loose off, good in and through the middle, but still loose off. And I came up into the top lane of the track because I was clear. And I guess really quickly after I had become clear, somebody came outside again, and my dad didn't tell me. So I came up, I went right into the wall with my right front pretty hard, and then I hit the back end of the car off the wall too.
Didn't do well for him, and didn't do well for Kendra. She got into the outside wall. I think we bent the toe here pretty good. Both right side tires took a big whack, and from there she was deemed an involved car. The driver didn't necessarily agree with the call, but that's not the first time a driver's disagreed with the starter's calls. And right, wrong, or otherwise, she had to go to the back. So struggled once we got to the back. I mean, we fixed the problem that we had in the first feature where the car was tight through the middle. She said it went in really well and would turn through the middle, but we've just lost all forward bite coming off. So we had no drive coming off the corner, which is just struggling all the way down the straightaway and into the next corner. So, but I'm happy that we made some changes. Disappointed with the result, but very happy that the driver was comfortable making some changes. Very unhappy with the result of the final handling of the car, but that's how we're going to learn. One takeaway I had was that at the end of that feature, and we ran quite a few laps green, you know, we were less than a straightaway or half a straightaway from start to finish in the entire field. This field is very, very tight, and the lap times are very, very close front to back. Like I mentioned, track position can be everything, and once you lose track position for whatever reason, it's extremely difficult to make it back up. So we do have some positive takeaways, and we'll go home, tear some things off, and check to make sure that everything's good to go next week, and we'll try and back up a little bit and get some more forward bite off the corner. And hopefully if we keep the turn through the middle, we'll be in much better shape, get back to the top 10 like we were in the first feature.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
When all seems lost, a few brave souls can save everything we've ever known.
The operation is over.
We're not giving up on Prime, okay?
This is amazing.
Oh my God! You take a picture of me?
Sorry. We would like to come back up now.
This is Rogers TV. Barry.